The Airstream metal truss carport building continues.
If you're just joining us, we are building a permanent cover for our renovated vintage Airstream that we'll be living in as we build our house.
This is step 8 in this series, so make sure you check out our playlist to see the previous steps.
Today, we are installing our gray water septic.
Now, I'm sure a lot of you will have questions, and we are going to do our best to try to answer them before you even have a chance to ask.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
That's the goal. So, our Airstream, we renovated ourselves. We put a composting toilet in it, so it doesn't even have a black tank.
Nope, just gray water.
Just gray water. However,
Arizona is weird.
It's the only state that considers your kitchen sink water to be black water.
Yeah. Living in the Airstream, we have always wiped down all of our dishes because we don't want that mess going through our tank anyway.
Nope.
So we wash all of our dishes in a separate basin, and so the gray water that will be coming out of the Airstream is coming from our bathroom sink and our shower.
You're probably also wondering why we're not reusing this gray water. That's obviously a tried and true permaculture technique, and we're all about trying to save water in the desert. However, we have a few reasons that we're not going to be doing that with this particular build. Reason
number 1 is the smell. We are very familiar with gray water smell, and since the Airstream is updraft from where the house will eventually be, we just don't want to smell that long term.
We know that the wind always goes this way, and we don't want to smell that for the rest of the time we live here.
Yeah.
That's no good. Number 2, animals getting sick. Unless you fence off the entire basin that you're going to create for that gray water, they will go drink it, and they will get bacterial infections. And don't ask us how we know this, but it's gross.
Reason number 3 is when we move into our house, there will be hardly any water being used up here at the Airstream.
Yes.
So long term, we don't want to create a basin and have to water it that way, and then have to worry about when we move in the house, how are we going to water that basin now that we're not in the Airstream? It's a whole thing. We thought about it.
We thought about it, yeah. I was going to say, we definitely thought about it.
Yeah.
Decisions like this are hard. We want to be as sustainable as possible. We want to reuse water here in the desert. But you also have to realize that there are certain trade-offs that you have to make in specific situations.
If you'll remember, in our last video, we dug a 3 by 4 foot hole that's 5 foot deep. So let's see how we're going to hook all this up.
Okay, first step of the gray water septic is we got a 5 foot hole, and we need to put about 2 feet of gravel in the bottom of it. And this is not regular gravel, it's actually made for drainage. So it's gonna probably take a few truckloads. So we got the first one here. We're gonna get it down in there and see how far it brings us up. Okay, our gray water septic pit has 2 feet of drainage rock in it. We've got our 55-gallon barrels. We're going to drill 12 holes, inch-ish holes in the bottom of that, and then we've got to drill our larger holes to connect all the pipes, and then we can start filling up the gravel around. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
That's it.
somebody grab the end of this, please? No, go down to the, it's gonna go all the way down, so. Got it? Now try not to let it get in the dirt. You're gonna step down in the trench.
Where's that?
There we go, just like that. Look at that. Got the holes in the bottom. We also did holes coming into, connecting, and coming out of for the leach line. So these are in place, they're level. They should be good to go. We just need to fill around them with even more gravel.
We will be adding a top cap too to each one for a clean out.
Right, but for now,
we don't need that right now.
For now, we've got a bed full of gravel we need to get out because it's a lot of weight. It's probably only going to get us up to
Not very far.
this far up on
Like
it. So we're adding a wall here because the hole kind of blew out a little bit with the tractor. So in order to not have to buy a bunch of gravel, because we have plenty of dirt, we're going to try to keep this here and just fill the gravel from here over.
We'll take that wood out. It's not going to stay there.
Yeah. It's just to help separate until... We're just making this up as we go.
Where's all of our other helpers?
Hey,
They haven't helped
you
us.
guys. Come help.
Here.
We've been talking over something casual, and you got that wonder, supernatural. Breathe you in, hold it out, come around, and I know I'ma keep you in view. I've been waiting forever for somebody like you. I'm falling underwater, no more light, can't get enough. Maybe we're too young to keep this right, don't change it up. We don't need to take this too far, we're feeling it right where we are. You got me underwater, I can't get enough. Where could this be going? I think you know. All your cards are showing long ago. Breathe you in, hold it out, come around, and I know I'ma keep you in view. I've been waiting forever, there's nobody like you. I'm falling underwater, no more light, can't get enough. Maybe we're too young to keep this right, don't change it up. We don't need to take this too far, we're feeling it right.
All right, back at the gravel yard. Hopefully, this should be the very last load. We gotta get that hole filled in. Let's do this.
I breathe you in. I breathe you in. I'm falling underwater, no more light, can't get enough. Maybe we're too young to keep this right, don't change it up. We don't need to take this too far, we're feeling it right where we are. You got me underwater.
Trying to pull the board out. How's it going, babe?
Not good. Should have done it earlier.
Probably should have moved it up as we went.
I don't think that's going to move.
You can do it.
Alright, should we lift on?
Do you want me to get it?
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Mom, you have no idea.
It's not moving.
Like,
I
you're
could
probably
attach
just,
it
like,
to the truck and pull it.
She could probably just cut it and leave it
No,
there.
I don't want to leave wood in there.
Why?
What's it going to do?
Do you want me to get in there and help? Hey, babe.
No, you don't have the proper footwear. Flip-flops.
Jax, I think if you get out, it will go.
Thanks. That's how it works.
Okay, so in hindsight, we should have lifted that piece of wood up as we were filling. Then it'd be much easier to get out. Right now it is stuck, and trying Jet's idea of how to get it out. We'll see if it works. Probably just break the wood.
Yeah. It's stuck.
Can you both grab the handle and pull up on it? No?
Okay, we've had a window of no rain, which has been great because we've had all these holes dug. The rain is coming back tomorrow, of course. So we have to get this gray water septic finished up. So, first step is we're gonna take this pipe that's gonna go to the RV. We gotta finish gluing all this together. It's gonna come out of the ground right at the pad, and we're just gonna cap that off for now. But we need to get all that put back in, and then we need to do silicone around all the joints where the pipe goes in. We also have to build up some cleanouts. It's a whole thing. But basically we gotta get all that done. We gotta get plastic over the gravel so that we can then fill the rest back in with dirt. Does that make sense? Kind of makes sense in my head. We'll see how it goes. No, don't look at it. It's embarrassing.
I'm right there.
Trying to figure out cleanouts. We've got a 4-inch pipe for this one that will have this special connection called a footloose sewer cap, which means you can just step on it and it pops up. And that way if we need to dump something down in there quickly and our hands are full, we can use that. And then we'll just have a 3-inch with a screw cap on this side. But we're trying to figure out how far up to come so that they come out of the ground but not too much out of the ground. And also we're trying to figure out how to set this in here so that it doesn't slide down into this over time. And so Adela had a good idea that we'll just use a coupler. So we'll make a piece, it'll go down into that hole, and then the coupler is bigger, so it should just hold on top of that. Anyway, we got to figure out what to cut this, because we need one to go down in, one to come up, and it's got to be the right height. Not too long, not too short. I'm kind of stressed out about it. It's a little high, but not too bad, really. I think that's good.
So how do
You just step on it. Final step before we can cover this all back up is that we need to take some like a plastic, like a vapor barrier layer. We're going to cover all the gravel, and we're also going to cover this leach line gravel as well, so that as we put the dirt back in, it doesn't get down in the rocks and then it would just become like a mud situation. So we want to make sure that the gravel stays as drainage gravel. So that's what this plastic is for. Are you ready? I'm ready to be done with this. All right, one more time before we cover it all back up. We've got this pipe that will connect to the sewer out on the Airstream. Gray water only. It's going to come down here, goes into the barrel. The barrel has holes in the bottom of it so that will drain out, and then there's gravel underneath, which it will drain into. If this one happens to fill up too quickly, there's an overflow. And then if that one fills up too quickly, there's a leach line that runs 10 feet out that way, and that pipe also has gravel under it and holes in the bottom of the pipe. And then we've got the 2 clean outs coming up out of the top. And then we've got the plastic over the gravel. So we're going to let this caulking cure a little bit better, and then we're going to start covering this thing back up. Well, we got those trenches filled in just in time before the rain decided to come back.
Yeah, and I'm glad we did too, because 5 foot deep is a long way for someone to fall if they're not looking.
Yeah, we were definitely keeping Ocho away from it all the time, and like every time the kids would go up there, we're like, guys, just please be careful. Don't break a leg.
Okay.
So we are going to finish plumbing in this septic when we actually move the trailer up here, because it'll be like a permanent PVC install. Can't really do that until we know exactly where it needs to go. So other than that, the septic is complete.
So where does that leave us? What's next?
Next, we have one more big hole that we got to fill.
Yeah, our water tank, right?
That's the water tank, yeah. 3 feet down, got to put it in, we got to plumb it out, and it's got to come up into the foundation for our version 3 of the solar water pump house.
This pump house will not be made out of earth bag.
No way, Jose.
And it won't have a 500-pound roof.
Well, that's debatable.
Okay. Well, guys, get ready. Version 3 of our pump house is coming up next.
We'll see you then.
Let's just say I wasn't over this unspeakable mistake. Today we laugh, but on the inside I'm drowning in the heartache. It's time to shield.